No, Captain. There was an incident on the flight deck. The planet we discovered is located at the coordinates of interest to the Honorable Ulfar, Angel of the Emperor. The moment he learned about this, he chose to abandon the ship. Did Ulfar go alone? Ah, dude. What a Space Wolf thing to do. I should have seen it coming. He ordered a shuttle to be provided to him and directed into the world before us. We do not know where he exactly wishes to go, but the Augurs have tracked the shuttle to his landing site. How can he order a shuttle to be provided to him, and my people just do that without asking me or anyone else? Maybe because he's an angel of the Emperor and people are just like, oh, sure. Ulfar, don't kill yourself. He saw a shuttle. How did this happen? Ulfar simply showed up at the deck, drove the enforcers away, and demanded he be granted clearance for takeoff. His servants became frightened and dared not disobey his orders. Great. So, why have I not been notified of this action, like, right away? He forbade it. The enforcers did not dare to defy an angel of the Emperor. I'm very sorry. Wow! Who's your commanding officer? He or me? Ulfar's a really big scary guy when he wants something. That's true, but they could have told me, like, immediately. I see. I apologize for having to bring this troubling news, Lord Captain. But considering he could crush you with one hand, I'd not get in his way either. Absolutely true, but that they did keep silent? Well, then again, I guess Ulfar can intimidate. There's also a necron structure. A scouting party led by the rogue trader himself makes planetfall on the frozen world. The shuttle on which Ulfar Thunderlung departed the ship has been designated the starting point for the search. That shuttle is found at the landing site, intact and undamaged. We scout the area. The scouts discover numerous structures, burial grounds and obelisks of the xenorace that once ruled the star systems, all of which are now encased in ice and solemn sepulchral stillness. No signs of activity by potentially hostile Xenos have been detected. I just want to add a yet, because I think it's just a matter of time. Examine the stolen shuttle. The machine spirit in its fine form and is ready to ascend from the world's surface. No clues have been found as to Ulfar Thunderlung's intended destination, but a keen-eyed scout sights several disturbed snowdrifts that may indicate the route taken by the Space Wolf. Ulfar, didn't we just talk that we would do this together, like multiple times? Ah. And we follow the trail. We could also just leave. The group bravely ventures onward into the realm of blinding white and crackling frost. The sky is soon blanketed with snow clouds that block out the star's light. The wind, howling like a pack of hungry spirits, sweeps away all tracks and wipes up a furious storm. This sounds like you could do this much easier just with a little bit of planning. The path is full of dangers. A treacherous crevice hidden under the snow's crust suddenly opens with underneath the enforcer's feet. It is only the vigilance of the Lord Captain and his companions who hear the telltale crack in time that save the soldiers from certain death. A few hours later, the expedition comes to a plateau. Rising up ahead is the dark hull of an Imperial trading vessel that once landed on the world's surface. And first and foremost, we of course look for signs of Ulfar. Let's hope he didn't just I mean, they're hardy, right? He won't just freeze to death. But I mean, we know the last tracks of his team were here, of his pack. So whatever, I know my 40k, whatever killed them, might also kill him. Fresh tracks in the snow leading to the ship's airlocks indicate that he was here, and recently. However, he was not alone. The scout finds strange dips in the snowdrifts surrounding the ship. It seems that someone was watching the ship from a position buried in the snow around the same time that Ulfar Thunderlung was searching it. So someone is stalking Ulfar. The escalating storm sweeps over the group as if trying to bury them in darkness, snow, and obliterating whirlwinds. A man from Fenris won't freeze to death. I'm just concerned. But you're very right. I would still say it's a stupid plan. It is no plan. It is a stupid, impulsive decision. Something probably killed lots of a whole pack of space wolves here. And we investigate the ship. The ship is intended as the revelation granted the merchant cog commandeered by the Baleful Howl on footfall. No signs of struggle or other misfortune are aboard, only some useful cargo in the hold. Can we take it? Contrary to the expectations, no crew members are found, dead or alive. The ship has been abandoned and its fuel systems are non-functional. The Prometheum has frozen solid, ruptured the tanks and pipes. And we send scouts to survey the area. I guess that's the smartest way to find him. The enforcers search the area and return without finding anything of interest. Not all of them return, in fact. Several seem to have lost their way and failed to make it back to the ship. Ah, great. And we decide which direction to search. In the raging blizzard, it's impossible to determine which way the Space Wolf might have gone. A pair of brave trekkers strike out on a long-distance scouting run, but still have not returned hours later. I mean, it's all planet, and Ulfar can be probably quite fast. Maybe our ship can help us. And so we contact the ship in orbit. The raging storm makes it impossible to establish a vox link with the rogue trader's vessel. Yeah, that's not good. Leaving the expedition stranded without aid, but probably not for long. The officers on the bridge should have immediately dispatched help as soon as contact with the scouting party was lost. So we can either retreat to the landing site or stay at the camp or at the ship. And I think Ulfar will probably more likely return to the ship. So we take shelter in the ship and set up camp. The bone-weary soldiers welcome the chance to rest. Watchful sentries stand guard while their more fortunate comrades stuff themselves with the now frozen rations of the ship's vanished crew. How long will it take till we freeze? Garus failed. Yeah, -90. We are at 128 and it's not enough. The temperature inexorably plummets. Many members of the expedition suffer from frostbite, while others lose their fortitude and morale. One of the sentries delivers an ancient's report to the Lord Captain. He has seen a massive shadow in the darkness, and it was definitely not Ulfar Thunderlime. I mean, best case, another Space Wolf. Worst case, whatever killed the other Space Wolves and is trying to hunt Ulfar. Too cold. Yeah, definitely. A little bit. I mean, if there's something stalking Ulfar, we want to kill it, right? So we go on the offensive. A squad of the best fighters, led by the Lord Captain, ventures outside the ship and scouts the area twice. Unfortunately, the only result of their efforts is several squad members disappearing without a trace. Okay, so far we're just losing people here, and I blame you, Ulfar. So we double the sentries? Despite the reinforcements, the sentries cannot conceal their fear. The unknown has robbed them of their courage. It could be a wolfen, a space wolf mutated by his gene seed. When does this mutation occur? Could it be one of his former pack, or current pack, I guess? Or does it happen just like in the very beginning? A messenger rushes to the Lord Captain to report that one of the sentries is missing. Large tracks have been found near the sentry's post, as well as a few drops of blood. And we arm everyone and have them take up defensive positions. Casting food aside and rousing from fitful sleep, every member of the expedition prepares to fight and defend the blessed rogue trader. A terrible rumbling cuts through the roar of the storm, the clash and clamour of battle. It is followed by furious, agonized scream. And we send the party toward the sound of the battle as soon as possible. Come on, Ulfar, don't die. I don't want to lose Ulfar. We lost so many companions. I mean, 2. Right? 3 if you count Marazhai. Tied together with ropes and bolstering each other with battle cries, the enforcers rush toward the battle in human chains. Unable to see anything ahead in the darkness and swirling snow, they blindly stride toward the source of the battle's monstrous thunder. The Lord Captain will personally rush into battle against the mysterious foe. Come on, we have to help you, Ulfar. The Lord Captain charges forward, the soldiers rushing after him, and an eerie shadow blocks their path. It is cloaked by the snow and the dark, which turn it into a barely discernible silhouette that emanates the promise of death. Clashing with the unknown enemy that cannot even be seen, the Rogue Trader deals several devastating blows, and then the malevolent foe hurriedly retreats into the blizzard. Ulfar is found lying in the blood-soaked snow, his body covered in grievous wounds, but the wolf continues to cling to life. With great care, he's borne to the shuttles and, wasting no time, brought back to the ship for urgent treatment. Okay. Interesting, I was really sure we would explore this planet. Apparently not. Let's have a talk with Ulfar. Many Space Wolf warriors do not succumb to the curse for many Terran centuries, but once he drinks from the cup of Wolfdom, the warrior must continuously fight against the beast that rages within him for the remainder of his days. Some Space Wolves eventually surrender, unable to contain the ferocity of the wolf within during the heat of battle. Yeah, succumbing to the beast. Alrighty, Ulfar. Who? Inquire of the Voxmaster about Ulfar's health. Voxmaster. Vigitus, come here. When you approach, Vigitus pulls away from the fine-tuning another Vox and bows her head. Lord Captain, the ship informed me of our imminent meeting. So, how's Ulfar? Has he regained consciousness? He's feeling better, Lord Captain. The ship's surgeon was amazed by his resilience. It seemed Lord Ulfar is currently convalescing in his chambers. Alright, so have a servant escort me to Ulfar's quarters. At least he survived, and probably has quite some interesting stories to tell. Becoming basic werewolves if they succumb to the curse. But with lightning claws and power weapons. Yikes. I think we never were here so far. Ooh. Ulfar has quite a few tech priests. Also quite the nice pedestal for the armor. At least Ulfar looks alright. Not really like he's hurt, right? Just standing straight. Come on, Ulfar. Let's patch you up. Ulfar's dark figure towers over you. His head is lowered, his hair changing in a curtain. Why did I read changing? His hair hanging in a curtain across his face. His fair skin is crotch-hatched with broad crimson scars held together by metal staples and covered with black spiked runes for physical healing. Would an ordinary mortal have survived such injuries? Unlikely. Basically everything Ulfar has is considered a holy relic. Neat. And I mean, Ulfar's also kind of holy, right? That really seems like he should be lying down, not standing. With a twitch of his fingers, Ulfar bids the two servants and attendants to step away, so as not to intrude on your conversation. They silently retreat. Eightfutter, I must thank you for saving me. I had a difficult battle. I'm glad you survived, Ulfar. I always survive. Alright, so why did you decide to go to that world alone? After a few moments of silence, Ulfar says, quietly. Is it quietly, or is it like quietly for a space wolf, so like normal volume.
So I did not have to bury your body in the snow, 8-footer. It is not out of arrogance that wolves do not allow mortals into our affairs, but because the burden of those deeds is heavy, and they reek of death. Just consider what kind of threat you would have been facing, in a place where an entire pack of Astartes have disappeared. If I had asked you for the sake of fulfilling my vows, would that have been worthy of me?
I mean, good point. Then again, by that logic, we're talking about the threat which killed probably an entire pack of space wolves. How can one space wolf do anything against that?
We fight together. Do not forget that I am your 8-fetter.
I guess. Ulfar heaves a heavy sigh, which seems to hang in the air between you.
You and I are different. Your way to rule and build, while mine is to destroy and chase down prey. Such is the Allfather's plan, and in that plan, my death on the battlefield is an expected and joyous event, while your death would be premature, sorrowful and damaging to many other lives.
Sometimes I forget how dogmatic Ulfar is, which makes perfect sense being an Astartes. It still sounds so sad. Oh well, I want to hug him. Or, I don't know, looking at all sizes, hug his leg or something.
Anyway, did you find trace of your brothers? The vessel I found, the revelation granted, that was them. Inside there were signs that wolf scouts leaves for their brothers. The baleful Howl landed the ship on the surface and left, and the rest of the crew disappeared. I followed my brother's trail until an unknown foe blocked my path. And battle, in short.
Also interesting that he wasn't able to discern what kind of foe it was. Which I would say it probably is not. I would guess it's probably not like an estranged space wolf, because I would guess he would just smell that. He would break you if you hug him. You think so? I don't know. I think Ulfar would just be like really confused. I don't know if you would dislike that actively. I don't know.
But what foe is capable of besting you in combat? You once were truly terrifying. An evil spirit attacked me from behind and wounded me instantly.
Ulfar points to a particularly gruesome scar on his chest, the strike clearly intended for one of the Space Wolf's two hearts. I mean, if it was... I mean, we don't know. But if it was truly intended, it has to be someone who knows how to kill Space Wolves. The wound gives off a strong medicinal smell, but it is not one you recognize. Probably a Fenrisian balm brewed by Ulfar himself. Edis would faint after one whiff of such a potion.
The snow covered my eyes, and I could only make out a shadow, but it moved fast and it was strong. If the Allfather's gift had not knitted my ribs into a hard carapace, the blow would have been my last.
The wolf says these words with chilling nonchalance.
I can still feel its claws in my chest, frost shredding flesh. Wounds left by spirits are dangerous. They create spiritual link between your body and its pernicious mind. The only way to heal such mutilations is to brew a potion from the blood spilled by the incorporeal bodies.
How is there blood spilled from incorporeal bodies? I can't imagine someone hugging a space marine. True. I guess they don't have an aura of come on and hug me.
I see.
Ulfar nods in agreement, his face grim. Yeah, but I guess we still have to find out what happened to your pack, right? Even though it's quite likely that they were slaughtered. And Edward looks around the chamber.
I am pleased that my servants found a fitting shrine for your armor.
The splendor and monumentality of the chamber befit the solemnity of the sacrament unfolding within. As if performing an intricate dance, the servants of the Omnissiah move in time with the murmuring mechanisms, circling the massive space wolf while he stands utterly still. The scent of sacred incense fills the air, giving the sense that one is witnessing a great ritual. Beholding an angel of the Emperor.
And Astartes need very little. A cell and a table where I can perform the purifying rite of my weapon. That is all I require. But to keep the armor bestowed upon me by the Allfather in some shabby cubicle would be sacrilege. This chamber will do well for the vesting ceremony. There's good plasteel beneath the rich decoration and gilding. Yes, I am satisfied. You know, you're not your usual self. You seem more somber.
Oh no, another song.
By bitter paths comes wisdom, and wake of bloody losses and shattered dreams. Heavy thoughts weighing on its broad shoulders, it enters unbidden and takes a seat by your hearth.
Sounds quite solemn. I would say that's basically a yes. Pot.
So, have you been thinking about your life? About the future. Have you ever wondered what it means to be an Astartes? To know that no other family but your brothers in battle. To know no other feast but the joy of slaying your enemies and extoiling your fallen comrades. To know with certainty that your death will be terrible, brutal, and agonizing. But time holds no sway over us, and no warrior of the Allfather has ever breathed his last in a soft bed.
It sounds so horrible, but they love it. And still, I see, as always when we talk more of Ulfar, I see so many similarities to witches. Because they also don't grow old and die from age, but just, well, sometimes the monster bests them, right?
Death holds no fear for us, Eight-Footer. We have been eating at the same table since day one.
Very dedicated.
So, tell me, I was wondering, why are there no rhymes in your songs? Rhymes are empty frippery. The saga must be a life. If the words happen to fall into a rhyme, well, that is grand. But to make your whole story fit nearly into such a pattern, you must either twist the truth in the service of beauty, or live your life for the sake of a rhyme. Neither is a wolf's liking.
Oh boy. Then again, kinda cute, kinda true. I would say it limits quite a lot to find like rhyming verses.
Our sagas are voices sounding through eternity. When we hear them, we do not hear stories, we hear the tellers speaking the words to us now. I know, maybe not the greatest question, but do you still believe you will find your brothers? I will find them.
Ulfar clenches his fist.
Probably not alive, but I will find them.
I guess so. I just really hope we can accompany him next time and he's not going to flee once more.
You know, perhaps something good awaits you in the future. Listen, Eight-Footer. When the wolf priest tested me, I went to the gate of Marazhai, the dark place where real space and the thoughts of the great wars intertwine like the tentacles of a kraken. Everyone who appears before the gate is granted a vision, and mine was a dark omen. I saw myself in two guises, one as white as the moon, the other black as the lowering sky, and the two were locked in combat.
That kind of sounds like the lingering corruption. Like, do you succumb to your instincts? Do you become the werewolf? Or do you stay with your Imperium ideals, white against black?
As for which of me emerged victorious, that was hidden from my sight. But that is not what frightened me. The Black Wolf's gaze was fearsome, full of more pain than he could ever inflict himself. It drove him mad, turning him into a monster. And as dark as he appears, I recognized myself in him. After all, I was made for destruction, torment, annihilation. I'm more the agile monster. Does that mean that by the Allfather's design, I must drink this cup of pain to the bottom in order to fill this path? I do not know.
Ulfar looks at you, his expression inscrutable. No, stay on the light path, Ulfar. But yeah, I guess what's going to happen next could really decide which path Ulfar's going to take.
Alright, thank you for your answers. You have a right to them.
The thing is, if Ulfar would let anyone hug him, it would be us, I would say. Or maybe another space wolf. At least on this ship, it would be us. Quest: hug a space marine.
So, what are the servants doing? It is time for me to don my skin again.
Ulfar shrugs wearily, his body giving off heat and animal scent. One of the servants opened a casket containing content unguent. It will be used to anoint each of the black carapace's neural pores, marrying the wolf's skin. The sacred augmentation seamlessly fuses Ulfar's body with his armor and every fiber bundle of it. Ah, that's why you have all those pores on his body.
I feel flayed without it. Recently I've been trying to remember what it was like to live without a skin. I can't. Too many years have passed.
But I mean, it seems like quite the powerful and nice armor, so...
Alright, so what will you do now? I must return. My foe awaits me, and it would be dishonorable to retreat from this battle. But I will need help in the fighting.
Finally! So you do consider the option of us helping you.
Alright, you can count me in. I know, Aeldari.
Ulfar nods to the servants, and in low voices they begin a guttural prayer. Shadows leap across the walls, twisting together in a majestic and savage dance. In the flickering candlelight, the sacred rite is performed. The angel of the Emperor is clothed in the armor of unwavering faith in his wrath. He survived, and we can do this. It really looks like quite the shrine here. Nice. Off we go. Let's find out what happened to those space wolves. And maybe rescue one or two. But honestly, I don't think so. Would be nice though. A rogue trader can dream. I also think this is the last companion quest, right? It's high. I gotta say, I mean, I haven't played the ending, but so far, I think Rogue Trader is... I really enjoyed Pathfinder, but I think Rogue Trader is even better. It has fewer flaws, besides some weird bugs. But I like the pacing more. I really enjoy the characters. Maybe the romance options are a little bit disappointing, but overall, the setting, the vibe, the story, loving it. Off we go, Ulfar. Let's see what beast is stalking around here.